We're just a few short weeks away from the January transfer window. We've offered new contracts to those that have been offered new contracts in real life. And we will be allowing those players that are leaving IRL to leave in save as well. Meaning we kind of know where the gaps are going to be in the squad. We will probably look to fill a couple of those now. Or in January when we get there. And the rest we will look to do in the summer, because who knows who might become available on a free in the summer window. Of course, there's no point spending money if you don't have to, especially in the lower leagues when we can save on transfer fees. So we'll look to do that, but we don't yet know what division we'll be in, of course, and that could dictate the caliber of player we do and or don't sign. So we won't necessarily do all of our work now, because we might actually be able to sign some better players later down the line, but We'll deal with that when we get there. Only tomorrow's episode we should be into the January transfer window, because we're going to sim Port Vale to begin with, play Orient, play Shrewsbury and play Charlton, and then we will be into that January transfer window for the next one. So very much looking forward to getting ourselves stuck into some more transfer stuff, but for the time being we're going to play, or sim actually, this 5-back of Port Vale that are struggling in the league, to be completely honest with them. Unfortunately for them, they're not necessarily seemingly cut out for this level, IRL or in-game. We are continually, I say that, as we just lose bloody 2-1 to them. Uche with the 89th minute winner. 89th minute winner, as you might actually want to pronounce it. We're saying thank you to Big Man, to Janzing, sorry, and to Deadman for your continued support in the comment section. Thank you very much indeed for that. Right, that's not gone according to plan there, has it? So, a defeat to Port Vale, who were, what, relegation zone? Certainly very close to. Yeah, they were relegation zone. They were second bloody bottom is where they were. Now they're third bottom and trying to get themselves out of the relegation zone. Blackpool down there is a surprise. Reading would only be on 22 points and only still in the relegation zone even without their points deduction. So they are struggling so far this season. Certainly a shock to see a couple of sides be where they are. I guess including ourselves up there as well. So it is what it is. We have our first question from the press conference from the comment section as well. Do keep those coming in. This one from Wookie Cookie says, with Cambridge United on a surprisingly really good run, has it been tough to fight against complacency creeping in? And what are you doing to ensure that the players' feet remain on the ground? I don't think anyone is getting carried away in this squad. I think we fully understand that we've been in good form, but we're not necessarily, especially with that now knock back down to earth with a defeat at home to relegation-threatened Port Vale. We know that anyone can beat anyone in this division, and results like that when they come along are what keep the players' feet on the ground. And I don't think complacency will creep in, because I'm not going to get complacent. And you think the attitude from the top should filter its way down through the rest of the squad. We've got some experienced players in the squad as well, so we know that really they're going to be able to dictate whether players do or don't get complacent. And if I've got the right attitude, they'll have the right attitude, and then so will everybody else. Match day against Leyton Orient, 4-2-3-1 for them. Not necessarily a side that we're that threatened by, but in half-decent form. Unbeaten in 3, the last 2 of which were victories. They're missing Brown through suspension. Joe Piggott started up top against us last time we played Leyton Orient, and Soptriou takes his place on this occasion. We've been getting goals from throughout the squad recently. Even Paul Digby scored one most recently. Zeno's up to 63, which is great. Nice to see some more growth there. Elias Kachunga can come in and start ahead of Brophy at the moment on the left-hand side. I think Brophy's played a lot of football this year. We've always tended to rotate Soleil out, but let's rotate Brophy out now, and actually his pace could actually be more of an impact off the bench than maybe anyone else's might well be, given the opportunity. Bennett up to 68 now, which is great, because he's my highest rated player, and the higher he gets, the higher player we can afford or allow ourselves to buy when we get to January. Right then, we're off down to the Goffin Group Stadium. Aaron Prattley, wow. It's a name I've not seen for a while. Digby gets stuck in nicely there. Gassan's goals haven't necessarily dried up, but they've not been as forthcoming of late as they were earlier in the season. Something to keep an eye on. You guys will ultimately have a decision to make at the end of the season as well, as to whether we look to sign Gassan permanently, or we look to bring in someone else. I guess it depends potentially what division we're in. Looking for the man at the back post here. Who drills his shot into the side netting. Lancaster had Soleil Kaiko back for a pullback, but I didn't trust his ability to play the pass. So I went for the shot. And Graham. And Aguier. Oh, he's done me with a turn. Oh, and he's at the post. Okadina back to the keeper and away. That's the closest either side have come to a goal so far. That was very well struck. And Andrew on the breakaway. We are definitely going to need a new left back next season, that's for sure. Let's try Lancaster at the back post again. Works this time. Very well indeed. Goalkeeper can't deal with the power on the header. And as they hit the woodwork at one end, we score at the other on the counter-attack. Brilliant header by Lancaster, who will be added to the transfer list in the summer, as per real life. But putting himself in the shot window really well. Keeper, I think that hit me in the face on the way in. Ow. It was burst past Liam Bennett. Absolutely uncatchable, Sweeney there. And a sharp turn as well into the box. Needed the block. Or it might be 1-0 down. But they have come close on a couple of occasions to scoring. If it's a similar sort of scenario for them as it was last time we played a promoted side in Northampton, then they will find themselves very unlucky. Northampton somehow managed to lose 1-0 to us despite hitting the woodwork a couple of times and having the ball cleared off the line. I don't quite know how we were able to win that one. So far, Leyton Orient look like they might be a similar level of challenge to Northampton. Monker's shot now blocked. But oh, strike! Jeez Louise! That deserved a goal. Now they've got one. Sotriou equalises for Leyton Orient, and I think you will join me in saying that that has been coming. It's Graham. And nicely into Idris El Mazouni. And a really sharp turn by him too. And space for Sotriou, who scored again. Leyton Orient have turned up today. They get themselves a 1-0 deficit. And very quickly indeed, fire into gear. Spark into life. And now lead the game. Said that it was Pigott that started the season up top for Orient. If Sotriou's been doing this all season long, you now know why Pigott isn't starting anymore. Soleil's in behind here. Gassan needs to keep up, please, mate. Come on, pal. Get yourself forward. Here he is. Show some strength. Oh, no. No. I'm sorry. Let's have a look. A closer look. Soleil into Gassan, who backs in, takes a first touch here. And the defender... Well, to be fair... No, the defender wins the ball. And then Gassan goes to ground. That is where VAR is needed in the lower leagues, because that isn't a pen. Look at the pressure on Gassan. Oh, my God. Oh! Yep. Just needed VAR to overturn the penalty call. Might well have needed goal line technology to decide whether it crossed the line as well. The penalty from Ahadme straight down the middle. Big chunk of bar into the roof of the net, thankfully. Yes. Jamie's just called me a jammy bugger in chat, and I think I agree. Oh, nice tackle by Soleil Kaikai. There's 1 minute added on. The goal has to come now, if it is to come. It's rather evidently not going to come. That is a terrible pass. It's a 2-2 draw against Leyton Orient. Home fans cheering. I think it seems like they're happy with the point, given the way that the game came about. I'm surprised there wasn't boos at the end for the referee. Able to get ourselves a point from a game that I really don't think like we deserved one from. 8 shots for them, 3 for us. Yeah, we've kind of done one over on them there. I don't think we deserve that at all. Bolton lose, though, just noticed there, away from home at London Road against Peterborough. So they are halted at the top of the table. 4 points the gap to them, 2 points the gap to Derby. Only 4 points now back to Barnsley below us. Still, though, the gap is 11 points to 7th. We're very much well within the playoffs. But with Shrewsbury coming up next, always an awkward one, Shrewsbury. Never a side that you presume are going to be a walkover. But at the same time, you don't feel that threatened by them. But we have said in previous interviews, with questions from the comment section, that we are not going to allow ourselves to become complacent. So that is not going to start happening now. Glenn McConnell leaves on loan. His options were Newport or Harrogate Town. And he's going to be off to League Two. But where? Yorkshire or Wales? It's a loan spell that hopefully will do him the world of good. He's only played a couple of games for us in youth football, and he's going to South Wales for 6 months for the rest of the season. He will leave on January the 1st. Although we are covering all of his wages, annoyingly, which is a pain in the backside. Newport, you've kind of done me over there. You've got yourself a free loan for 6 months. Hope Glenn McConnell can actually do the business. And we've had loads of loan bids for Mamadou Joe, but as you can tell from the clubs in question here, none of them a realistic option that would actually happen in real life. So we have been rejecting them all, as we said we would do, as per the rules of the save. So I'm going to go and update my finances, and then we shall crack on with the game against Shrewsbury. Another Joe bid, this time from Rosenborg in the Netherlands. Sorry, those of you outside the UK, he's not going anywhere. Actually, let's have question 2, shall we? From the viewing audience. This one comes from Frantic Atom. Says, after witnessing the 2 amazing goals in the same game, flashback to your 2 of 4 goal of the season contenders so far, Jack Lancaster and Adam May. I think Adam May's is probably my favourite. When you finished the game, what did you say to your players who scored them? How did they react when you told them they did well, if you told them? Ultimately, I was in the dressing room as I was in the moment in commentary. Absolutely speechless. A firm handshake is all that was needed. I think everybody knew how special those goals were. They didn't need telling. Shrewsbury solidly mid-table in 12th. They've lost 3 of their last 5, but they halted the downturn in form with a victory last time out. They're missing, is it Jay Bayliss? Certainly Bayliss. Through injury, they're down on the bench. Jordan Shipley on the bench could certainly make an impact in a wide role. Winchester in the middle is a decent central player as well. Shea Dunkley at centre-back is rock solid also. It's not a bad side. Morosi in goal can certainly cause some problems as well for forward players. Gassan didn't have a great game last time out. Won the penalty, took the penalty, but didn't really deserve the penalty and very nearly missed the penalty. So we will take him out for this one and put Fajiri back in. Shrewsbury, one of the higher position sides in the league that we play today. Not sure where Charlton are in the table, though. I think they're chasing the playoffs. They're our final game, aren't they? We had them earlier in the season, and it was a really decent game against Charlton, actually. We got loads of money from the gate receipts as well. Shrewsbury's first chance is well saved by Jack Stevens, who has certainly been earning that number 1 spot in this season so far, and regardless of what league we're playing in next season, we'll be keeping that number 1 spot as well. The striker role is very much up for grabs because, as it stands, we will be losing all of our current strikers. Either loans going back or players leaving as free agents at the end of the season. We are going to need multiple strikers next season. So that's certainly going to be a port of call later in the plan. But having gotten 4 or 5 strikers at the club at the moment, we will not be looking to sign a striker in January. Despite the fact that Udo is trying to put in a good showing, maybe, for a signing to join us in the summer, regardless of whether he does well for Shrewsbury or not here. But he's not doing well for Shrewsbury at the minute because he's missed again. Jamie Shackleton. Yeah, maybe Shackleton becomes a hero in this save rather than the Leeds one. Soleil to Liam Bennett. Soleil's arriving and will look to burst. And burst well into the box. And Fajiri, I thought, couldn't miss from there. Morosi with a very good save. We did say he's a decent goalkeeper on the way into the game and proving as such. That one, though, he could have been your nan and still kept that one out. Switch by Brofs. Just knock that back with Soleil to Liam Bennett. And then lift it. Plays in the middle. And if I can find the right pass. Oh, and the turn. We should have a goal. Which indeed we do. Fajiri Okunabiri will be leaving at the end of the season, but he's certainly contributing to this promotion effort before he does so. 1-0 United. Switch with Lancaster, overlapping run. I just tried to flick that backwards, but Benning's got in the way of it. Just trying to, knock it on. It really didn't work. Ryan Bennett having a rare attempt at running quickly in a straight line. That's kind of what I was trying to do with Liam Bennett. Winchester will challenge Cole Winchester. Probably could have seen that coming, couldn't we, really? Here's Perry. And into Solbaran. Oh, I kind of moved out the way of him there. That's not gone well at all. Oh, balls. Shrewsbury equalise. And that's almost certainly, in part, my fault. Great touch by Solbaran. He's still going here. And it's going to find Daniel Udo, who finally finds his shooting boots. He's had countless chances in this game. And eventually one finds the back of the net. With just 8 minutes to go in the game, we might well be losing. Brofs is on the run. And he's in behind. Come on then, Mr. Brophy. Oh, go on, Brofs. And it's Elias Kachunga through the gap here. Kachunga! Kachunga still. Oh, Digby, the touch is so bad. I can't believe it. The chance to equalise in stoppage time, not able to be taken. And now Daniel Udo might add the final nail to the coffin that has been this game at the Abbey Stadium. Indeed he will, with a rebound goal off Jack Stevens. It's to be 3-1 Shrewsbury rather than 2-2. And he's given it the big one as well. Cheeky boy. That'll be a defeat for us then. Well, in the end, the man who I ridiculed earlier in the game for not having his shooting boots on and not performing very well, he scored a hat-trick. Daniel Udo bags all three, boos around the Abbey Stadium. And are we starting to see that mid-season wobble that a handful of you predicted might well arise once the form started to change with the in-game mechanic? Once the form goes from good/great to okay, results start to take a little bit of a wobble, don't they? It's Charlton next. We're still third. Charlton on 38 points will still be chasing the playoffs. Indeed they are. Gap is still 11, down to 7th place. So still considerably inside the playoffs, but now considerably outside the top 2. As you can tell, 5 points to Derby, 7 points to Bolton. Not that Bolton haven't thrown away a 7-point lead so far this season at the top of the table already. We'll sort our finances out, but we have one final question from the comment section to deal with. That is from Tom, and it says, as a coach, do you pride yourself in the level of goals scored from outside the box by your players, and is it something you actively train on? Can't say is it something that we actively train on in the at the training ground, but they are aesthetically pleasing as goals come. But quite frankly, you don't really mind how the ball ends up in the back of the net, just that it ends up in the back of the net. A la that third goal against Shrewsbury, you don't care that it does that if you're the attacking side, because you've scored the goal and it doesn't matter, does it? Unfortunately, we were the recipients of that on this occasion, but hopefully next time it will be victory. Let's go and play Charlton at the Valley. Time to try and earn some points back and a little bit of self-pride as well. 5 back for Charlton though. They're chasing the playoffs. We know that they're good. Lloyd Jones still in their back line. Dobson still wearing the captain's armband, and still Alfie May and Freddie Ladapo up top. We'll go back to default, shall we? We have made a couple of rotations in a number of games recently, and the form book has floundered, shall we say, since. So let's go back to good old-fashioned that 11, and maybe the result will come this time. Dobson again. It's just all Charlton. Get out. Dobson, Ladapo, Brophy working hard. It's going to fall free to Ladapo and straight at Stevens, thankfully. We need to take a step back and just reassess what's going on right now. This January transfer window might actually come at the right time for us, with a couple of signings potentially that could come in and strengthen the side. Gassan just can't get near the ball, not got the strength to hold off the defender. Swang a leg at it, but the ball had already evaded him. 2 minutes to go till half-time. It will be a 0-0 that we don't necessarily deserve, but we'll absolutely take. It might not even be a 0-0. Might be a 1-0 lead that we absolutely don't deserve, but no, Lloyd Jones puts any chance of that to bed immediately. Oh. Brofs. Brofs! Oh, what a save by Maynard. Brilliant cross from Gassan out wide, and Brophy hit it flush at the back stick, straight into the keeper's midriff. Get away from me everywhere. Alfie May goes for a worldie, which isn't going to work. I don't know if Jack Stevens has conceded a goal from outside the box all season, has he? It's been very solid. Obviously, there have been mistakes in there, but that's been more the gameplay engine and just goalkeepers in general on FC than it has been his fault. Soleil's going to try and get away from Lloyd Jones here, and he should have the legs to do so, and has done. And he's turned inside really nicely. Gassan wanted a first-time shot, can't get one. Lancaster will have a first-time shot, but it's gone wide of the target. We're only getting half chances here at the Valley, and half chances aren't good enough. Christ, that was a long way wide. There's nowhere to go. Charlton really good at just winning the ball back and then quickly getting it forward to the front line to cause problems. Problems that we don't have an answer to. Freddie Ladapo makes it 1-0 Charlton in the 67th minute. Ooh, we might be losing again. Running out of time here, though. Trying to get the ball played around so much so that we draw some players in red and white out of position. There was nothing wrong with that tackle, but at least it allows us to have possession back and for my changes to be made, and hopefully those changes will spark a revival. Faye, just can't get it out of his feet to play it into Adam May, who's making a great run. Digby and Bennett. Lancaster around the corner to George Thomas. Fajiri's in middle. Fajiri, Adam May, and the substitutes combine to superb effect. George Thomas out wide, substitute into Fajiri Okunabiri, striker, substitute into Adam May from CDM, substitute. Goal for the U's and level at the Valley. Stevens knows how much that goal means. Lancaster around the corner, sub to sub to sub to goal. You should sub to the channel. Plug, plug, plug. Final whistle sounds. We stole a point against Orient. We've stolen a point against Charlton as well. We're thieving our way to an automatic, or towards an automatic spot. Certainly we'll be in the playoffs. Reading really need that win against Port Vale at the bottom end of the table with their points deduction. They still wouldn't be outside the relegation zone, I don't think. Got lots of emails. We've dropped to 4th now as Barnsley have closed the gap, but that's understandable given the wobble in fixtures. Still a 9-point gap to Wickham. But that gap was 13 not that long ago. Lots of emails here as we're going to get some players recalled with their loans expiring, but that's fine. We're going to redo those just with the live editor because those players wouldn't be removed from my squad throughout the course of the save in real life or throughout the course of a season in real life. So I'll just manually move those guys back to me. That'll be Gibbons and the goalkeeper Barden and the left back Ben Jackson, etc. So we'll sort all that out when we get to the January transfer window proper, which is tomorrow. George Thomas is apparently unhappy with that first team football he's getting, but I'm sure he's getting enough first team football. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll be able to see more from him. PSG have signed Tony Kroos. That's one that we certainly didn't expect, but he is potentially, actually, is he retiring? I think he's retiring, not leave. Well, yes, leaving Real Madrid, but leaving Real Madrid to retire in real life. That's all for us for today, though. Thank you very much for watching. Do join me in the next one tomorrow for the transfer window, where we will be doing some business. But what business gets done, we shall have to wait and see, because not even I know at this moment in time. I shall see you tomorrow for more. Come and join me on stream. Go and check out the F1 stuff on the Chesnoid Plays channel. And I'll see you back here tomorrow.